Delighted to be able to report that the weather has cooperated here at the Emirates Stadium in North London. I'm Derek Ray, in position to bring you live match commentary, and my expert analyst, as always on these occasions, is Stuart Robson. I'm looking forward to bringing you action from the Premier League coming right up. It's Arsenal versus Everton.
Yes, thanks as always, Derek. We've got two good teams here, so I'm anticipating a really good game. The atmosphere is electric inside the stadium before kick-off, and hopefully we're not disappointed.
Number 34, Granit Xhaka. Number 35, Gabriel Martinelli. Number 8, Martin Odegaard.
And this is the Arsenal starting 11. Aaron Ramsdale is the goalkeeper. Mohamed El-Neni starts alongside Martin Odegaard in central midfield. And the main striker here is Edward Nketiah. And here's how Everton line up. Jordan Pickford is the keeper. Andre Gomes plays alongside Abdoulaye Doucouré in central midfield. And the tactical configuration has two players in attack from the very outset.
Thank you for attending the Emirates Stadium. Enjoy the match.
Right, take two. Welcome back to Armchair Armory. I did this 25 minutes ago, but I didn't realise that the mic wasn't on, and that's what happens when you try to do something for the first time that you've never done before. But anyway, welcome to this quote-unquote special, but not so special now, live episode of the Armchair Armory preview. Obviously, we are playing Everton on the last day of the season, and depending on what happens, tonight when they play Palace, this game could be very easy for us, or this game could be very hard for us. If it turns out that they do get a result against Palace tonight, and I'm recording this on Thursday the 19th of May, if they do manage to get a result, then they'll probably be safe. If they don't, then Sunday is going to be very, very stressful. We're going to have a very stressful Sunday afternoon. I think it's still important, despite the fact that we've pretty much blown top four now, and I'm just about to blow this. We've pretty much blown top four with poor performances against Spurs and Newcastle. I think that it's good to try and finish the season on a high. Just because, you know, regardless of the fact that we know we're pretty much going to finish fifth, as they say in the wrestling business, let the fans go home happy. So I think, that's all we can do. We've got to go out there and do our job with the, I'm going to call it fool's hope, that Spurs drop points against Norwich. Well, not even drop points. Norwich have to beat them, basically. Norwich have to get a win, and we have to beat Everton in order for us to finish fourth. But part of me does think, are we even ready for Champions League? Because it's such a young team and such an inexperienced manager. It doesn't really. You think to yourself, oh no,
lacking just a little bit of guile.
I never know what I'm actually doing when I'm taking these free kicks on FIFA. What was I saying? So yeah, we don't know. We don't know whether we'd be any good in the Champions League, but in terms of attracting players, it would have been good. I do worry for next season, despite the fact I think Arteta's done a decent job to get us into fifth. if you look at the start of the season, where we lost those 3 games to Brentford, Chelsea and Man City, there's no way that you'd be sitting there thinking, oh, we're going to finish 5th. And at the start of the season, I gave the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, oh, well, there is a possibility that, like, the best we can do this, well, not even a possibility, but the best we can do this season is 5th. Because, yeah, we're not a Champions League, good save by Pickford. We're not a Champions League team. Why is the goal decision system reviewing that? It's obviously not a goal. Bloody hell. But yeah, so it's been an okay season. It's not been great because we bottled it at the last minute, but it's better than what I would have hoped at the start of the season. I was really worried at the start of the season of where we were going to go, and I think on the whole it's been okay, but I'll go into more detail about that in the season review in the next couple of weeks. But in terms of Sunday, as I say, it's going to be tough regardless. I think our mentality is still on the floor at the moment. One of the reasons, and I think Gary Neville made this point as well, one of the reasons why I think we played so badly against Newcastle is because we were still getting over losing to Spurs. That's basically it.
The meat of the penalty area. Well, really, it had to be further away from the keeper.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Oh shit!
And it might be.
No.
Flinging himself at it, the keeper.
Well done, Ramsdale.
Can someone get on the end of this? Well, the header needed to be a lot better than that. Didn't really
So yeah, I forgot where my trailer thought was going, to be honest.
It will count for nothing. Just look at those stats. They need to make the breakthrough and make it quickly.
And teammates to play it to.
So yeah, at the start of the season, I don't think after those 3 games we would have thought that we would have ended up finishing 5th, and I think overall it's not, as I say, it's not perfect, but it's better than, you know, finishing 8th again necessarily, and technically the objective has been met. Get back into Europe. It's just disappointing, I think, because we've lost out. We're going to lose out to Spurs. I think that's the main thing. I'm just starting. The one thing that's really annoying me is what always happens every time we lose a couple of games. That the flip-flop, fickle mentality of our fan base come out and start shouting and ranting and raving and saying, "Oh, I knew it all along. I knew it all along that we weren't going to get top 4. Arteta's useless."
But the flag goes up offside.
It's the same thing that happens every single time, and I'm just bored of it. For me, he's done okay. I mean, there's still doubts there, but he's done okay to kind of basically, as I've been saying for months and months and months, to break even with Emery, pretty much, because that's the highest Emery finished. I know he was only given a season and a half, but Arteta's basically just got us there. And there's been a lot of things to rave about in this season. Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, you know, Gabriel, Ben White, Tomiyasu. It's not necessarily the end of the world that we finish 5th. It's disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. For this simulation, I put a lot of kids on the bench. I know we have been playing with kids anyway, but I actually feel like this game, depending on how things go, we might see a lot of the kids run out in this game, and I'm hoping that FIFA lets me do that later on. Yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen. I think there'll be a lot of runouts for a couple of runouts for the kids maybe. We shall see. But part of me isn't very confident about this game just because of as I said earlier, our mentality being on the floor, and I'm actually going to predict a 1-1 draw for this, just because I feel like we're going to see a slightly improved performance from maybe Spurs, not necessarily Newcastle because that was dire, but like I think we're going to see more of a more of an improved performance where we actually, could potentially win. But I think because of how the season's gone and because of how we threw it away, I think that it's going to make it really difficult. And like I say, it really and truthfully, it all depends on what goes on tonight with Palace. And I think they're playing Brighton as far as I'm aware. So it depends what happens there, really. We shall see. So half-time and it's 0-0. It's just so annoying that like I did a stream just a second ago, and as I say, the microphone wasn't on.
Plenty to consider based on what we've seen
It's crazy.
so far as the second half begins.
But yeah, there's only one of you watching right now, so whoever that is, thank you for tuning in.
Can't argue with that little move. Fine cross into the middle. Well, we
And
really
getting
have to call
involved.
that a squandered opportunity, Stuart.
Well, what a waste that is. It's far too easy for the keeper. He should have made him work harder there.
Holding. Gabriel. Martin
So,
Ødegaard.
Xhaka on the ball there,
That's one pass
and
after another.
his comments were, to be honest, I wasn't really that
Giving it a try.
bothered by his comments, to be honest. I think he was referring to everybody rather than like everyone else but himself. I think he said we don't deserve to play in the Champions League, we don't even deserve to play in the Europa League.
And that was a very fine
I just think, as usual, the mainstream sports media try to
Ødegaard.
demonise, as they do in general.
Encouraging Arsenal move.
Offside.
And the flag
Got
is
caught
up.
offside there.
Well, that's just a lack of awareness.
But that's the thing.
In an offside position.
He was right. We were absolutely awful in that game against Newcastle. I mean, in a way, I couldn't believe how bad we were. It was. I said in the reaction that it reminded me of when we lost to I felt like when we lost to Barcelona in 2006 in the Champions League final, but
Calvert-Lewin.
at least we put up a fight in that game.
Richarlison.
What I should have said on reflection is that it was more like
Great block.
when we got battered by Chelsea 4-1 in the Europa League. That's basically what it was like, where you felt hopeless afterwards. The full-time whistle went and you was like, I have no idea what's happened. It just felt like everything went wrong. It didn't look like we were in the game from start to finish.
And over comes the corner. It didn't happen for them.
Basically, Longstaff and Guimaraes completely
Can he put them in front? Yes, is the
Damn it.
emphatic answer.
murdered,
It was on the
pretty much
nose.
murdered El Neni and Xhaka. It's embarrassing, really.
Well, here we can see it again. Look at the way he glides past the defender to create space. for
Richarlison,
himself.
this is
And
the
it's a
kind of
great
stuff he
finish.
does, to be
Holds
fair.
off the defender, keeps his composure and finds the back of the net. It's a marvellous
Yeah,
goal.
well, then come the 23-24 season,
But their attacking players been too slow. Mainly
I'm
due
going to
to
be
a lack of
playing
movement
these
of the front
previews. If I'm
players.
still doing Armchair Omri, then I'm going to be playing these
Space
previews on EA Sports, because FIFA have finally ended, well, not finally, but FIFA have ended their partnership with... Oh, what?
And he's been dismissed. This will be a real test
Red
of
card?
their defensive
Was that a red card
He had
offence?
to go, didn't he? They'll
Well-
need to reshape their defence quickly here.
He went through him, I suppose, but it didn't look that bad. But yeah, so EA have ended their partnership with FIFA after 30 years. Crazy days. For some reason, I get the feeling that FIFA's going to be shitter because of it.
And snuffing out the
Oh,
danger.
I shouldn't swear. I'll get banned if I swear.
Alan.
But apparently they're still keeping the licenses, which is good. Oh God, got to play seriously now.
And showing fine vision, but how well he did to cut that one out. And Kessia. Martinelli.
See, some of these players have done really well when they've come in, really. El Neni and Ketia, Holding, apart from getting himself stupidly sent off against Spurs. That's the thing. I think I was listening to Harry Symeou say the other day on his reaction to the Newcastle game that when the dust settles, we'll look back on this season and think it wasn't that bad. I think a lot of people, emotions are running high. As I say, I've seen a lot of people saying stuff like, Arteta's useless, let's be real, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, are we just going to go through this every single time? Like, you know, if Arteta does get sacked next season, which, to be honest, I am worried about, because I'm worried an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to happen, where the team's going to underperform with the Thursday-Sunday. The Thursday-Sunday, I'm going to bring on Smith Rowe. The Thursday-Sunday fixtures. And I feel that we're going to be, unless like we do sign a lot of players that are more kind of for strength in depth rather than anything else, I feel like we may struggle. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting summer, I think, overall.
Well, he just needed to go elsewhere with his pass.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting summer. So I am sort of worried about that. But I wouldn't go as far as to say that he's useless. I think people are only saying that because of the circumstance of how things have panned out this season. Because those same people that are now saying he's useless and that I knew it all along and all this kind of stuff were the same people that were celebrating wins over Chelsea and Man United and West Ham and Leeds and stuff like that. So I think it's just needless lambasting, really, because I don't think Arteta's been that bad that we've... Oh, bollocks.
Still could be dangerous. And problem solved for now. And it will be an Arsenal free kick.
If I'm not careful, I'm going to lose this game. Like I've lost quite a lot this season. I was saying to somebody the other day that like I'm so bad at playing bad at this game that it's very likely that if I was ever looking at the results that I've had, I would have been sacked. I would have been sacked as Arsenal manager years ago. Yeah, let's bring on Aziz. Give him his Premier League debut.
He's driven in the corner. This could square the game.
Oh.
Thanks to the goalkeeper.
It would have to fall to Rob Holding, wouldn't it?
Well, you're absolutely right, Derek.
Trying to like slice it.
But really, that should have been the equaliser, and there's not long left now.
Right, hopefully this falls to like someone with a big head.
Sending it in. On a time for composure on the ball.
It's annoying, really, because the first round of this I did was
it's with Alan.
1-1. Oh,
They have possession again.
Martinelli.
Well, this is far from over.
To Smith Rowe. Oh no.
Time. Alan. Keane. On to Delhi. And Gordon now.
He's flopped at
Gray.
Everton, I think. Dele Alli.
Richarlison. And he's gone into an illegal position, unfortunately.
Right, let's see if I can get it down there. This simulated version of Arsenal seems to be doing a lot more fighting than the real. Well, that's it. I lose 1-0 to Everton on the last day of the season. And let's just assume what happens what we're expecting to happen happens. And Spurs beat Norwich. They will finish on 71 points, I think. And we will finish on 66.
Skill and movement were excellent, and he fully deserved to score that winning goal.
If this was to be believed. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. As I said earlier, I think I'm going to predict 1-1. I think it's going to be too much for us to go for a win. But I'd like to see us go on a high. I'd like to see us batter them like 4-0 or something like that. But realistically, I think it's going to be very hard for us to get over that. You know, there was the disappointment with the Spurs, and then the absolute car crash horror show of Newcastle. I'm really worried about the mentality.
Yeah, the ref's got that right. It's a yellow card all day long.
But yeah, so that's it. My first ever live stream of an Armchair Armoury preview. Don't know if I'll do any more because it doesn't seem like anyone's really been very interested. But yeah, was interested doing it, although I had to do it twice. But yeah, thank you for those who have subscribed this year. I've only got 47 subscribers, but it's 47 more that I thought I was going to have when I first started. So I definitely appreciate it. In terms of the next video in this series, I'm not sure. The game is on TV, so I don't know if I'll be able to do a reaction to it. So I'll probably have to leave the reaction for the end of season review. So in terms of Armchair Armoury on Dpire TV, that's it for this season, apart from the season review, obviously. And yeah, so I will see you in July in pre-season for the story so far. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Take care and stay safe.